Where did you start your life? Where were you born and brought up?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
Moved north to St. Cloud when I was 9. My father and my grandfather bought a service station and bulk plant there,
Okay.
and I ran that for years.
So you grew up there, and
Grew up there.
did you go on to college?
3 times to be exact. I got a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from University of Minnesota. And then in later years, when I was employed by Lockheed, I had nothing to do. I was well organized. So I went to school and got master's degrees out of USC and UCLA.
Oh, good. When you came here to California.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I was working for Honeywell.
And what were those degrees in?
First one was engineering, electrical engineering.
Okay, yeah.
And the second one was engineering, but it was an MBA out of the engineering school. It was the engineering executive program at UCLA.
Okay. So you could be an executive then in an engineering
I
situation.
could handle both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, good, good. And then your first job after that was?
Well, my first job after Minnesota was with Honeywell, Advanced Flight Systems. And that's how I got to California. We were building some stuff that needed to be serviced and installed and tested at Lockheed in Burbank. So they sent me there. Left me there for about 15 months. And I had a lot of friends who had made that trip out, went back to Minnesota, and within a year they were back in California because they decided they didn't like the Minnesota winters anymore.
I don't blame them. I'm from New York originally.
So I thought I'd just skip that round trip, and I just stayed.
Okay.
Worked at Lockheed for 17 years.
And what exactly did you do there?
Systems, primarily. I was in the Skunk Works working for Kelly Johnson on the Blackbirds, U-2, SR-71, YF-12, and related projects. So I ran the integration labs, I ran the antenna test facilities, backscatter work, all kinds of stuff for the Blackbirds.
Was this during the war or after?
No, this was, let's see, I went out
A
in
war.
1965.
Okay.
So I went to work for Lockheed in 67. Worked for them for 17 years.
Okay. And then, is that when you retired?
No. Some headhunter sold me a bill of goods. Said he wanted a new division started in Santa Ana, basically a think tank, and offered me a lot of money. And that's where I went. It didn't work out. It just wasn't my thing. I was always involved in hardware and software and things that did things, not studies and analysis.
Oh, okay. Boring to you then. Yeah.
So then I went shopping around and landed at Rockwell. Did a lot of work in their avionics lab in Lakewood. Then worked in El Segundo for Rockwell. Did the backscatter or radar cross-section work for the B-1B. Did the avionics for the B-1B. And then I ran out of things to do there. Then I did a lot of shopping as to what I wanted to do, and a friend contacted me, and I ended up landing at GT Government Systems in Mountain View.
Okay.
And that worked out.
Did
well.
you move your whole family and everything all the
everything.
time? And
Yeah.
did you have kids?
Two of them came with us. Two of them didn't initially, but eventually they all ended up here.
Yeah. Okay.
They followed eventually.
Yeah.
So GT moved us up here, and they gave my wife a job also. That was part of the deal.
Great.
Worked for them for about 10 years. And then another friend told me about an exciting thing, working for a little company called Condor Systems. And they were building ELINT or electronic intelligence systems for the Taiwanese. And they needed somebody to run that. So again, they offered a bunch of money, and away I went. Ended up going to Taiwan every month.
Oh,
And
every month?
installing stuff on their mountaintops.
For a few days or?
For a couple of years.
Well, I mean, when you said you went every
Oh,
month,
I would go for a couple of weeks.
a couple of weeks, so
Right.
all right, half your time maybe.
But it's a, you know, it's a 16-hour
Mm,
flight.
yeah.
Did that for a while. Then that ended. And then the friend who brought me into there had moved over to Applied Signal in Sunnyvale. And they were building collection gear for the intelligence agencies. And that sounded like fun.
Yeah.
So I went over there for 10 years. Ran their large programs.
All right. Wow.
And then in '09 I left there. It wasn't fun anymore. There wasn't anything that I hadn't done. So I left aerospace. Basically.
And now you should be in your second 50 years, well into it,
I'm
right?
well into it. Well into it.
All right.
Not as
But still working for money.
well.
Yeah.
I take Zig Ziglar's statement that if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want.
Okay.
So that's why I'm promoting Legal Shield, because it can help a lot of people.
Yes.
And if I look back at everything I did over my careers, it was always to help people.
Good.
It's a little obscure from time to time, but that's what's the bottom line.
That's what's good about teaching. A lot of people say, you know, that.
So I just found something that I could do that would help a lot of people.
Good.
So
All
that's
right.
what I'm doing now.
That's what I want to hear about, of course. But what a background you have that leads into this, because you would know a lot
Well,
about various things.
When I finished aerospace, I said, no, what capabilities don't I have? Well, even though I was running $100 million plus programs, I was personally financially illiterate, so I studied everything I could find on investments and strategies for investments. Then I said, what else? Well, engineering doesn't teach you how to be a real person. I could talk to any of my peers, but I couldn't go out on the street and introduce myself to a single individual and feel comfortable doing it. So then I said, I need a lot of personal development activity. So I've been reading everything I can find on that. So that's what I'm working on now, trying to become a real person.
All right.
And I find that's a lot harder than engineering.
My dad was an engineer. Well, okay, so you got going in this and you do this, which is
Legal Shield.
theoretically catching a thief.
Well, we provide a service to individuals, families, businesses, groups, and the service has 3 core elements to it.
Okay.
Unlimited access to attorneys to get your questions answered. You can call them as many times as you want. Credit monitoring, and identity theft, discovery, and full recovery. And this all goes for about $1 a day on a month-to-month contract. There's all kinds of other stuff in there that we do for people. We'll write letters on your behalf. We give them wills and healthcare power of attorney in their first month because we know most people don't have them for some reason. So we do a lot of extra stuff. We review documents. I don't sign anything that I don't send to Parker Stanbury in Los Angeles for review. And that doesn't cost me anything. I pay about $30. Well, I have one of their business programs or plans, so that costs me a little more. But all of that goes for about $1 a day for a family, and that's husband, wife, or the whoever signs up plus significant other. It doesn't matter who, and then up to 8 minor children up to age 26.
So
all
it's
for
called,
one price.
It's called Legal Shield, and it says here, worry less, live more.
Well, we
It's
try
kind
to
of
take
your motto.
yeah. Well, we try to take the worry of legal issues or identity theft or credit monitoring away from people. We take care of it for you. Now, if you have a question, call us and we'll answer the question. If you get sued, we give you a block of pretrial and trial hours. We'll go to court for you.
Okay.
You get a traffic ticket. If it's defensible, we'll go to court for you. And that, whether it's defensible or not, is you make the decision. Now, if it's not defensible, and I've had a few of those, they'll tell you how to address the commissioner or the judge or whatever. And I've had experience with that. I got a heavy right foot, got stopped. It was not defensible. It was my fault. I was looking for the speed I was going, and I was looking at my $1,000 fine and a lot of points. They told me how to address the commissioner in Santa Clara County. When I walked out of there, following what they told me to do, no points, a couple $100. So, let's say you get a
You
ticket in
pleaded
some,
your own case
yeah,
then. in
let's say
other
you get a
words,
ticket in some other state. Then it doesn't matter. We'll go to court for you.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Let's say you get ripped off by some vendor. They won't honor the warranty. We'll write letters on your behalf, or we'll call them on your behalf.
Hmm.
And we cover 49 states and 4 provinces of Canada.
Hmm. Okay. So you have a lot of, are you called an agent or what do you
I'm
call
called an associate.
An associate?
Yeah, I'm an
okay.
independent contractor, basically.
Yeah, yeah, I see. Okay, because I was kind of interested in the identity theft thing. We keep hearing on the radio or television or whatever, you know, do it, do it, do it.
It
And
is-
everybody gets scared.
It is the worst crime in the U.S. today.
Uh-huh.
There were 1 billion data breaches in the U.S. last year, and since there's about 300 million people, that means there's 3 for each one. So the probability of you having a problem is 100%, just a matter of when.
Just about.
So we do we
Well-
do the discovery, and if you have a problem, we sign a licensed investigator. Their job is to go solve the problem. It doesn't matter whether it takes them an hour, a day, a year. There's no additional charge for that.
I don't know how they can do that, though. I mean, I own a condo with no mortgage. I have a certain amount of money coming in each month from my pension. Goes into the bank. In the beginning of the month, I have a lot in my bank account. But then it gets pretty well used up.
Well, if you want to find out how people would find you, just Google your name.
And what could they do to me, though? How would
what-
they get into my bank account? They'd have to have my social security number, but
Right, and that's published. You
But-
can get that.
they're not me. I don't understand how they could become me.
Oh, they have
Tell me.
unimaginable ways. So they get your social security card, and they apply for credit in your name. They get your name, they get your social security card, they apply for credit, they get the credit, they use it. Obviously, they don't pay it off. Now you're liable.
Because I have 2 credit cards.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give away 2. And I have an IRA with some money that I had put in there.
Now, one of my mantras since I was developing collection gear for the intelligence agencies is there is no privacy.
Yeah.
Whatever is written down, no matter where it is, we can find. And so the bad guys can find it too.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that exists that's documented about you can be found. You can hack the systems. Look at Anthem that got hacked.
Mm.
Look at Target. Look at all these cases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now they've got the credit card numbers.
Mm-hmm.
What I offer people on that is, I put together a 20-minute presentation, a PowerPoint presentation with some videos in it, that shows people how they can get your information and what they can do with it. So I offer to make that presentation to anybody, anytime.
Mm-hmm.
And whether they sign up for my service or not is immaterial to me. They need somebody's service, or at least do the things that I say in this presentation to protect yourself as well as you can.
Mm-hmm. So you go before groups sometimes and do this?
Mhm.
Because I could think of you as a speaker coming with that information to a number of groups who
I'd
might
be
like
willing to do that for any group.
to have you come and show that.
In fact, I was talking to the CFO of the Diocese of Monterey, who I've known for years, and we're going to meet, and I'm going to show him the presentation with the thought of presenting it to his staff.